Hi, in this video, we're going to do a hand calculation of square root of 2. We know that 1 square equals to 1, and 2 square equals to 4. So square root of 2 must be between 1 and 2. And now we're going to start with the first calculation. First approximation, 1 plus 0.1x to the second power. We're going to expand this power, so we will have 1 plus 0.2 times x plus 0.01 times x squared. And the sum of these two quantities should be less than 1. We don't want this to be going over 1. So we're going to choose x equals to 4. So 1.4 to the second power equals to 1 plus 0.8. You plug in 4 here, you have 0.8. And you plug in 4 here, you had 0.16. And all together you have 1.96. So this number here is 0.04 away from 2. Let me call that 1 equals to 0.04. And now we do another approximation starting with 1.4. So 1.4 plus 0.01 times y to the second power. And that is the same as 1.4 squared plus 0.028y plus 0.0001 times y squared. And we want the sum of these two quantities to be less than 0.04. So we're going to choose y equals to 1. And we have 1.41 square. You plug in y equals to 1, you have 1.41 square equals to 1.96. 1.4 square is 1.96. Plus, you plug in 1 here and 1 here, you will have 0.0281. And you add them together, you have 1.9881. And this number is 0.0119 away from 2. All right, make another approximation. We're going to start with 1.4. Plus 0.001 times z squared. We expand that, we have 1.41 squared plus 0.00282z plus 0.000001 times z to the second power, 6 decimal places. Again, we want the sum of these two expressions to be less than 0.0119. So we're going to choose z equals to 4. And we plug in this equation. And we have 1.414 square equals to 1.9881. 1.9881 plus 0.01128 plus 0.000016. And you add them up, you will have 1.981 plus 0.011296. And you add them up, you have 1.999396. And this number is 0.00 604 away from 2. So I would say square root of 2 is approximately equals to 1.414 up to 3 decimal places. And now based on these calculations, we want to develop a algorithm, a more effective algorithm to find the square root of 2. So we're going to start with 2.000000, and we're going to cut the decimal places, 2 places at a time, 2 decimal places at a time. And now we want to come up with a number, square, which is close to 2 without going over 2. So we start with 1 square. 1 square is 1. You take that away, you will have 1. Bring down the 2 0. And now what do I do next? Well, I'm going to multiply the number on the top here by 2 and put it over here. Now I'm going to come up with another number. Let's say we call that x. This number and this number must agree. Now why do we multiply by 2? Because we want a 2 here. 2 times 1 is 2. And x times x is x squared. And that's why these two numbers must agree. So the number that we choose for x is 4. We put 4 here, 4 here. So 4 times 24 is 96. And you subtract, and we will have 4. This 4 is actually 0.04. And that is just R1. We're going to bring down the 0, 0 here. Bring it down. All right. And now, what do I do next? Well, I have 14 on the top. I'm going to multiply by 2, and I will have 28. I will have 28. You see, in the next approximation, we need 28 here. We multiply 14 to get 28. And we will, let's say I want to come up with a number y here, and these two numbers must agree. I have y times y, which is y squared, and I had 28 times y, which is 28y. And now we choose y equals 1. We choose y equals 1. Put a 1 here and 1 here. 1 times 281 is just 281. And you take away 281 from 400, and you had 119. And see 119 is R2. I'm going to take down the 2 0. I'm going to bring down the 2 0 here. And now I'm going to multiply this number by 2. 141 times 2 is 282. You see, in the next approximation, we need 282, and we need c and z squared. So these two numbers must agree, and we pick c equals to 4. So we're going to put 4 here. And 2 times 1414. I mean, these two numbers must agree. Okay, these two numbers must agree. And we're going to multiply 4 times 2824, and I believe we get 11296. And we subtract, and we have 604. And you can see that it is just R3. We can continue, but we're going to stop here. So square root of 2 is just 1.414 up to 3 decimal places. All right, let's do another. Let's do one more example. let's say I have 1098.362451. We want to take the square root of this number. Again, we start with the decimal point. We cut the decimal places two at a time. And the first step is we want to find a number square which is close to 10, but not going over 10. So I would say 3. 3 squared is 9. You take away 9 from 10, you have 1. Take down the 98. And then we're going to multiply by 2. The number on the top multiplied by 2, you have 6. And you put the number here and the number here. The two numbers must agree. I will pick 3. 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times 6 is 18. And what do we get? We have 9 here. Take down the 36. And now 33 times 2, we have 66. And this number must agree. I would say take 1. So we have 1,661, you have 661, and you subtract. You have 275. Bring down the 24. Take down the 24. Take down the 24. And now you multiply 331 by 2. You will have 662. And this number and that number must agree. When you multiply, it should not go over 27524. So I will pick 4 here, 4 here, and you multiply. We have 26496, and you subtract. You have 28 here. You have 1028. Take down the 51. And now you multiply this by 2. You have 6628. And these two numbers must agree. So say 1, because 2 will go over, 2 times 6 is 12, will go over the 10. So put in 1, so you have 66281. We could continue, but we're going to stop here. So the square root of 1098.362451 is approximately equals to 33.141, and it is good up to 3 decimal places. And I guess that's it. It is the hand calculation of square root of a number. And thank you for watching.